Hey there, RMPs and responders. Chrissy Brooks, Northern Plains Health and Safety. We are going to go through this week's hypothetical for week ending 11/16. Let's see what we got. Maybe it's going to be slow today. All right, there it comes up. Go ahead and grab your decision tree so that we can work through this hypothetical together. So, looks like we have a box with an explosive 1.4C hazard label and the UPS hazardous material shipping papers. It is leaking a small amount of a powdery substance on a belt line. When you call your corporate environmental coordinator, they tell you not to clean up the spill. They will bring in an outside responder. There are no fumes that irritate the skin, visible fumes, smoke, or irritating odors. Answer the questions below based on this scenario. So I kind of already gave you the answer in the description here, but we're still going to go through our decision tree because it's good practice. And you never know when an explosive 1.4C is going to come through your building. So, all right, let's go through our decision tree. So, revised October 2023 leaking package decision tree for designated responders, a small package. Is the leaking package generating heat, smoke, visible fumes, vapors, irritating the skin or eyes in any way, or leaking too large of a quantity to absorb or neutralize? No. So we're going to go over here. Does the package have a diamond hazard label? It does. So we're going to move right on. Is the package bearing a diamond hazard label with one of these materials that is prohibited in the UPS small package system? Explosive 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4B, 1.4F, or 1.4G. Nope, we're none of those. We're 1.4C. Blasting agent 1.5D, inhalation hazard 2 or inhalation hazard 6, poison gas 2, spontaneously combustible 4, poison 6 or toxic 6, radioactive 7, yellow 2 and 3, or fizzle 7. We're going to be all no's on that one. So then we're going to go down to our next box. Is the package bearing a diamond hazard label with one of these materials in the UPS small package system? Explosive 1.4C. Bingo, there we are. There's our yes. So we are going to end up in our red box down here on the bottom. Do not attempt to clean up this spill. Refer to the appropriate containment sheet. Follow the chain of command and notify your environmental coordinator. So we are going to check mark that we ended up here in our red box, and we're not going to use a response sheet because we're not cleaning this up. So we are not officially responding to it. We are simply going to contain. So we're going to use a containment sheet for this one. So find your containment sheet tab here on your decision tree. And we should be able to find one that talks about explosives. So there is information on here, hazard class contamination sheet, explosives, and we've got our number right there, 1.4C. For UPS small package operations, explosive 1.4C, 1.4D, 1.4E, 1.4S, and 1.6N are the only acceptable explosive materials. Hazards. If a Division 1.1 or 1.2 explosive hazard label is discovered in the UPS system, do not handle the package. Notify management and follow your chain of command. Fire may produce irritating, corrosive, and or toxic gases. Contact may irritate or burn the eyes. May be poison if it's inhaled, swallowed, or absorbed through the skin. Heat, friction, impact, or low-level electrical current may ignite the material. Do not attempt to clean up this spill. Follow the chain of command. Notify your environmental coordinator. Depending on explosive class, the environmental coordinator may direct the responder to clean up and process through the DMP. But if you remember in our scenario, it tells us when we call our environmental coordinator, they tell us not to clean up this spill. Or an outside responder may be called in for immediate cleanup, which is what our environmental coordinator is going to do. So we're going to wear our goggles, our boots, our aprons, and our gloves. If there's an irritating odor, smoke, or visible fumes that affects the eye, nose, or throat, since we don't have SCBA anymore, I'm hoping that they're going to update these fairly soon. None of our buildings have SCBA any longer. Response action steps: cordon off the area a minimum of 15 feet using tape and or cones, deny entry into the area, turn off the fans in the immediate area, contact the environmental coordinator who will contact an outside responder for disposal. Waste disposal and decontamination, UPS small package, contact the environmental coordinator for proper disposal procedures. The environmental coordinator may direct the responder to clean up and process through the DMP. That did not happen in this situation. Employees who may have touched the product must wash their hands thoroughly with soap or mild detergent and water before eating, smoking, or using toileting facilities. Do not attempt to decontaminate personal protective equipment. Dispose of any contaminated equipment by utilizing the outside responder. So again, what sheet did we pick? We picked our explosive sheet up here. So we are going to pick explosive here. Hit our next button. Can you sign into ETT with your own RAC FID and token? I really hope that you're clicking yes, and if you're not, that you are emailing your health and safety supervisor or your transportation coordinator. Can you get to the quick reference guide and find the most current waste disposal flow chart? Again, I hope that this is a yes. If it is not, please reach out to your health and safety supervisor so that they can show you. All right, here is our waste disposal flow chart that we would find in our quick reference guide. And which box on the waste disposal flow chart did the damage lead to? Well, if we are not disposing of the waste because we're calling in an outside contractor, we don't need a waste disposal flow chart. So if we're not disposing of the waste, we don't need the waste disposal chart. So your answer to this one is the bottom. No waste disposal flow chart needed for this damage. And on the next page, can you find a copy of a previously submitted DMN in ETT so that you can print it or so that you can confirm it? I really hope your answer again is yes. If not, please reach out to that health and safety soup. And do you have access to the team email account for your facility? Again, hopefully a yes. If not, your health and safety supervisor can get you access to it. And that's our magical last page. We need to put in our name and our employee number. Again, making sure, see, and I just made a mistake on mine, making sure that our employee numbers are correct because our employee number is what ties the completed hypo to us so that we know that we are complete and so that your manager knows that you're complete and quit hounding you. And division, I spend most of my time in Omaha, and I need to get this changed so that it says Monarch, but Monarch is where I spend most of my time, but that's now the Elkhorn, or used to be Elkhorn Valley. Click our next button, and then when you get this field, you know that you're all done with your hypo. Good for the week. Thank you so much for paying attention and working along. I will have the link to the hypothetical if you have not completed yours in the description of this video. See you next week.